Oh crap. Well, there is so much to talk about today that I literally have my laptop right here and I'm writing down every single point that I can remember so I won't miss a single thing. Like so far I have like 1, 2, 3, 10 points to go over so far. I'm not even done. So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Jazz hands for this one. So in today's video, as you can tell from the title already, I'm doing my very first ever story time. Keep seeing me look this way, it's because I literally wrote down every single point I want to cover in this video on my laptop in my notepad because I don't want to forget. Like, I literally want to cover everything that I can clearly remember. This video will not have receipts. I might find some very old pictures of us together, but that's really about it. So if you're new to my channel, hi, you're already here, you might as well subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. It's good to be home. So I'm gonna get started. Let's backtrack, okay, to very first time I ever met this girl. Okay, 5th grade. If you know who I'm talking about in this video, please do not go in the comments and write her name and be petty because I'm changing everyone's name in this story for their protection, even though it's not like I'm giving out factual government information. Well, it is their government name, so that's why I'm changing it. The 5th grade, I went to Hillcrest and I was in Miss Box's class. It's the only name I'm gonna put out there. I was new to Enterprise and I made new friends. Like, my whole class in 5th grade, like, everyone was friends and it was great. I think she moved here from Texas. She was the new kid and I remember seeing her and being like, she's new, let me talk to her. Like, I was so social when I was young. Obviously I'm not like that anymore. Like, you approach me and I'm gonna have a seizure inside. She was kneeling down because we had little lockers in the classroom and we were trying to help her get into it with a little combination. So her name was Delia. We're gonna say the name Delia. I didn't really like tell anyone what really happened because it wasn't like that big of a deal to me anymore, but here it is. Blech, the tea. Ugh. I kneeled down next to her and I just started talking to her and like we clicked. We became friends. Her humor was just as equal to mine. Like, we laugh at everything. I laugh at the stupidest things. So I became her friend the first day she got there. After that point in time, we became so close. I spent like every weekend at her house. Her siblings were basically my siblings. Okay, for some reason it like stopped recording, but she was like this super scrawny, super skinny girl. She was like super pale white. People called her a ghost. Like, people would call her names and obviously I didn't like it, but like, I'm a person that like, I'll be your friend. Like, I don't care what you look like. Our elementary school only went up to 6th grade. We were going to our first middle school, which was Coppinville. You know, I hated Coppinville and I hated Dolphin. Where I live, there are 2 middle schools, which is Coppinville that does 7th and 8th and Dolphin that does 7th and 8th as well. Don't remember being as close to her there as elementary because classes and things, we didn't really have much classes together. We didn't have like any class at all, I think, and I only saw her at like lunch or like occasionally when we had like some form of free time or event. High school started. Let's just fast forward. The friendship was always there, but like the clicking came back, you know what I'm saying? Freshman year we had like a couple classes together and then I met someone else. I'm gonna call her Meredith. She became my other best friend. We were reunited for freshman and sophomore year. I think this was 6th grade. I'm not sure if it was 6th, 7th, or 8th or freshman year, so I'm just adding this point here. Our literal goth / emo phase and listened to heavy metal all the time together. I think everyone's been through that phase in their life, and if you haven't, then you truly haven't lived as a kid. It was a lot of fun actually, and I discovered really good artists and really good songs. I'm just saying, I'm not like that anymore, but I still like it every now and then, you know? So this is where the weird behavior starts entering this video. Why did I say chat? This is not like a group chat. Like, you can chat down below. Okay, one day I was at our house and we were still in our rock emo, rock on phase, and we were just chilling on our phones, our devices. At the time I had an iPod. It was my gadget and she had a tablet, but we were just chilling one day and she was showing me like pictures and videos of cutting like on the wrists. And I remember her just telling me, hey, doesn't this look like cool or like bad, as if like it looks good? And I kind of brushed it off. I didn't really like say much in response, because how do you respond to that? Sophomore year hit and I started dating this basketball player, and I'm gonna name him Peter for his protection. So I started dating Peter and things changed a lot. Delia and that other best friend that I was telling you about, I'm gonna call Meredith, both claimed that I blocked everyone out once I started dating Peter, which is not true. They just started clashing out on me. They just started fading away, I guess you could say, just because I had a boyfriend and that was like the first best thing I've ever had, blah blah blah, all that kid stuff, right? So while I was dating Peter, time had gone by. We didn't really have as much classes and we didn't really see each other or really communicate as much as we used to, because high school, that happens. So one day I was in the bathroom just doing my hair and I was on the phone with Peter. I was looking on my Facebook Messenger because that was like the gadget to like communicate with your friends, you know, back at the time. I had come to the realization that she has messaged me a few times like, hey, or saying like little bits here and there, like trying to start a conversation. And for some reason, I didn't get the notifications for it. I responded and I was like, oh my God, she messaged me. It's been so long. I messaged her back and she told me we couldn't be friends anymore because I was toxic, just because I said, quotes on this, I said that cutting was cool and looked bad, and just like trying to say that I was encouraging self-harm when I wasn't. I never said why would someone in their right mind would not say that. High school hit, she changed. I'm still as confused as ever. It's just like all these excuses as to why she couldn't be my friend anymore, and she also dragged her mother into it. I'm gonna call her mother Miranda for her sake, because, you know, woman ain't got nothing to do with it. I remember this. She claimed that her mother said I was a bad influence on her. Don't ask me why. I didn't do anything, and I started crying. I threw a fit, and my mom was like, what happened? And I told her, and she was like, oh no, sister, no. Peter was on the phone with me at the time, so he heard it happen, and he messaged her, told her how could she say such hurtful things to me and just be that way to me, because it wasn't right as a friend. Like the way that I was always there for her. I did everything for her all those years, and for her to just tell me that was just not okay. And I just let it go. And then one day I was out with my parents. She sent me a DM. I was just like going through my DMs, I guess, on my Instagram. That's when I started getting into Instagram. I remember specifically seeing her name, and then right below her name, the first thing that like my eyes really caught was the fact that she told me to burn in hell. Like the only thing I can clearly remember from that little message. There was something else before it, but it was something hurtful, obviously, because like you're not gonna be nice and then tell someone to go burn in hell. It's not like, you know, if it's a joke, sure, you can tell me all you want, but it wasn't intended as a joke. At this time, it was actually like intended like, oh, actually like die. Remember when we were friends, she would tell people all the time, like if she didn't like them, like go die. Somewhere in her head, I know she was being serious. Obviously, I didn't like that. At this time, I was like really developing with my anger, and I have a really bad temper, so I really got mad when she told me this. And my mom told her mother, Miranda, and Miranda was upset at Delia because she had already been being disrespectful and acting in a very malice way, not only towards her but her other siblings. Once high school hit and we went our ways, she changed, and like all of the things that were in here came out through here, you know what I'm saying? After all of that, like I never heard from her again. I found out that she had moved. I don't remember exactly where she moved. After all that, I still thought about her. I still care about her to this day, and I still love her to this day, because I still remember the person that she once was when we were young kids, and I still see her as that person. But then at the same time, my mind's like, yo, she's not like that anymore. It's the past, let it go. The one thing that we both had as friends, we had plans for the future. Like after high school, I wanted her to live with me because I didn't want her to be alone, you know? Like she was such a fragile person when I knew her, and she was very like to herself and quiet, but she had like a big personality once you got to know her. She would always be jealous or show some form of anger or hatred towards me because other guys thought I was cute or attractive, or they loved the way that I was. But when we met guys and I would try and help her like meet someone, she she wasn't that person to like talk and start a conversation and actually put herself out there. She only did that with me. She was never happy for me. Like if something happened, she just could not be happy for me. Even though I involved her in like everything that I did, like the relationships that I had, like everything that I did, like everything me and my parents did, we would bring her because I loved her. She was my best friend. I wanted her to do everything with me, but clearly that just was not enough. And I did so much for her, like at the very end of the day, and I was there for her when no one else was. It kind of concludes like everything. To you it might not seem like crazy, but she was kind of mental. Like if you knew her in person, you can totally tell she had issues like in here. Obviously I didn't judge her based off of that because everyone has their own problems and everyone is their own person and everyone has their own screws that go on in here. I mean, it is what it is, and I still love her, and I hope she graduated from high school because school was always like really hard for her. So that kind of concludes this story time. I will make another one, but if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that like button please. It always helps. Can we get this video to like 20 likes? That'd be great. Thank you. Also comment down below any thoughts. I'm just telling a story for entertainment purposes only. This is not to bully or expose anybody. It's not, because this is in the past, so old. It's just entertainment. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure you already have. You're just returning to watch something else. And if you just happen to stumble upon me, click that button, baby. But thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.